Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, those who don't know what the hell you're yet. Hopalong PR here, and we are headed straight into battle. Yep. Symmetry is key in these games, and of course... Oh, that's right. I ran into the star door here, and... First of all, man who talks with fists sounds like the dire wolf. Then again, I can't see him being, here. But not impossible. I don't know who they'll get, but I still don't know who that one is. The only guess, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say Kevin's a scholar, but he has white outfit. So anyhow, this episode is going to be a little different than usual. So this one's just going to be the boss fight and presumably what happens afterwards. But I'm not going to be skipping the boss fight. Could that be the exit, perhaps? Sure looks that way. Hope everything's going well for Reese's group. Funny you should mention her. There goes my hopes of just walking. So we're not going to let us reach it without a fight. What? Reese? Nope. Is she gonna have different machines? Alright, 2 red, 2 blue. Damn it, she's being mind control or something. Nope. Oh boy. Alright, so this is just gonna be the boss fight, and I'm just gonna, take this chance to talk to you guys. Because, I don't know. I haven't done that in a while, and it's kind of what I set it out to YouTube to do, to just, make interesting conversation, but provide people with conversation. Because it's weird. First of all, I work with a lot of high schoolers, and it's weird, dudes. You guys are high schooler age or what have you. Nothing against you, but it's weird. I'm used to talking to people my own age about anything I think about, but I don't know, these kids, first of all, I'm on the same maturity level as them, so doesn't bear that well for me and my maturity, because I don't know, I want to talk about them about a lot of different things, but it would sound creepy because I do work with high school girls, and well, you see how vulgar I act here, so that pertains outward as well. But there's an interesting conversation that was brought up, and I feel the need to share it. The conversation was it started with, first of all, if you do this, shame on you, but one of the male employees had been going after one of the female ones, and she, first of all, wasn't going for it, but after that, pretty much all the text messages that he sent her in private, she started showing the rest of us. And it got to him. I would understand it would. And I just looked at him and was like, you know what, dude? If you think this is bad, just wait till you grow up and life gets a hold of you. He's like, well, you don't know what it feels like, man. And then I proceeded to, let's say, inform him about the finer details. Okay, I consider myself to have fucked up twice in my life. Don't make me wrong, I have not been impeccable. No, I have made numerous mistakes along the way, but that is not what I consider a fuck up. No, I was talking to him. I'm like, okay, dude, you really you're gonna let this get to you. It's really superficial. And honestly, she doesn't have the decency to, respect your privacy and whatnot. And don't even bother. There are better people out there. And he kept on going, oh, I just fucked up, dude. It's just... And then I politely told him, I don't know if I've made it explicitly... how do I want to phrase this? In my life, there are, two actions that I cannot go and undo. The damage that I've brought to those people is permanent, and I can never make up for that. But in those moments of just like feeling just like absolutely miserable, I had all of the, YouTubers that I still watch just like provide entertainment and make me feel like less lonely, because during these times I was, without a lot of support, I should say. All right. But that just kind of reminded me of like why I set out to do YouTube, is because I want to entertain people. I want to make people feel like, I don't know, they have someone to, listen to, feel like they're there with, something along those lines, to kind of like give in turn what I got from other YouTubers. So if you are going through anything at all, I don't care what it is, you have the support of a raving lunatic who's up in his room talking in the depths of night. Oh God, that doesn't look good. But just know that you have me, so you don't have to feel all alone. I know it might not be much of a consolation, but you should never feel like you're going through something alone. You should always feel like you have someone to be there for you, whether it to provide entertainment, provide just, a pat on the back, something like that. You don't have to feel alone. You've got one crazy madman listening and, not listening, talking to you to help, ease whatever you're going through. Whether or not I'm actually doing a good job of that is secondary. Okay. But yeah, it's stuff like that is why I started. It's not just to, be a raving mad lunatic. No, that's my nature. I do that quite well on my own. I think I've stated it before, but originally I went to school for mechanical engineering, and I realized that wasn't what I wanted to do at all. And then I really thought about it. I was like, okay, well, what do I want to do? And then between thinking of, okay, what can I do well? And then what can I feel like I can accomplish most? All right, you reflect arts. So anyhow, and it occurred to me, I've always been a person that really loves to make shit. So I figured, I can do digital stuff because I was born with hand tremor, so I can't actually physically art, for lack of better terminology. But yeah, it's like, if I can make stuff that can make people laugh or provide some sort of entertainment, how dare you hit this squishy one? But if I can provide somebody with some form of entertainment or happiness or reprieve from whatever's going on in their life, I've done my job well. I know that's what I needed way back when, and I know that's something that people are going to need throughout their lives. So, it's 2017 now. I don't know when if YouTube will ever collapse, but this episode will be up forever. He just bitch slapped Kevin across the screen. But yeah, no one should ever feel like they're fuck ups should isolate them, or they should just, feel ashamed for what they've done. No. Life is all about fucking up. I don't care what anybody tells you. The only thing that changes is how we react to our said fuck ups. In case you guys haven't noticed, it's really late. I'm kind of slap happy. Because, I don't know. Normally I wouldn't do this. I'd just skip the battle, but I don't know. I felt like saying this stuff because it's been a while since I have. Okay, you are both physical attacks. Anyway, I feel like if I don't say this and do these from time to time, I feel like I lose my purpose, for lack of better terms, of what I set out to do originally. And if I do that, then I don't deserve to keep doing what I'm doing. Even though right now I think there are 95 of you. First of all, thank you. You're part of that 95. God bless you. Part of the 0.00000000001%. Okay, thank God. No, fuck, that's right. Mueller, your sacrifice will be appreciated. Can't even damage her enough. I completely forget where I was going with that conversation. I know, probably doesn't surprise a lot of you, but that's right. Gotta remember why I do what I do. And it's just nice to look back at certain things and be like, yeah, I did that. Or, yeah, I did that. Or both connotations. And it's up for people to see or people to listen to regardless. And of course you'd hit Mueller. But nonetheless, I don't know. I make things, well, want to make things to make people happy. Whether or not I accomplish that, that's up to you guys. Or at least provide some form of entertainment. And the death counter is going up. Sorry, it can't perform well and talk at the same time. My little brain just can't do it. So why don't you go ahead and knock us both out? Because I want to get a restart now that I can see which one is which. Even though I could have checked beforehand. So death counter going up. I'm also curious to see how high the death counter will actually reach. Because I think in this game, quit going after the squishy one. I think in this game that when you die, it automatically makes the boss fights easier. Like I know in the last one, there was a difference between continue and retry. This one, I think it just makes it easier, which I'm not complaining at all. Zero complaints from me. Because, I don't know, I really hope the death counter breaks 100. I can hope. I can dream. But whether or not that comes to fruition, we'll just have to wait and see. Oh yeah, and I don't know. Said it once, I'll say it numerous and copious amounts of times. Actually, no, I haven't said it yet. I keep on meaning to, but I don't know. Video games are a form of art that I think a lot of people don't give enough credit to. Because, how do I want to phrase this? If there's a thing you're interested in, there is probably some sort of video game that you can get into or get involved with. Sure, it might not be overly entertaining, but it's still something that you can appreciate, either for face value or what the quote-unquote intended purpose of the author was. Which, don't know if I've gone and made that argument yet, one way or the other, but I am a fervent believer of once a piece of art is out in the world, whatever medium it may be, it is up for whoever sees it to interpret it however they want to. Because why not? Why not make the world however you want to see it? Why would you have to be told what you want or how you see things? You should just be able to say, hey, I see this from this, or I want to do this from that. It's a free world. Interpret things however you want. Do things however you want. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. In fact, I think that's how I got to my path of life that I'm living right now. It's basically along the lines of I am just doing things because I don't want to say necessarily because I just want to, because it's a path that I feel like I belong on. In case you guys haven't been watching or anything of my character alignment videos, yeah, Chaotic Neutral is based off of me, if you case could tell by the character art, but that is a type of person that values their freedom over, I don't know, say order. You'll do things because you want them to, or because you want to, and it just fits who you are. And I don't know, that's the only way that I've really ever A, considered living, or B, wanted to live. If you're not honest to yourself at the end of the day, you'll know. And you won't be happy with yourself. Trust me, I've been there. I know I've said it at least once before, but I have been married in my life, and don't get me wrong, I don't regret it at all, but that was a situation where I pretended I was something that I was not, just for the sake of, oh, well, you've been doing this for so long, you might as well continue. No. As soon as I sat down and actually thought about who I was as a person, I had, I'm not gonna lie, I had a slight and minor mental, nervous breakdown, but it was all, at least how I see it, for the greater good. Because without that, for better or worse, I would not be here. And I can say 100%, even though life kind of sucks, don't get me wrong, life sucks all around, but I can say that I am happy with the choices I've made, the mistakes I've made. Maybe not the 2 fuck-ups I've made, but it's all about living and learning. Because if you... I don't want to phrase this. The greatest thing about life is trying to find out who you are. And it's rather hard to do. So if you can do it, more power to you. Because God knows it took me forever to get as far as I am. And I'm still quite away from who I don't want to say who I am, but who I will be. Because we're all, I don't want to say destined to be a person, but we're all set out in paths to be X amount of, X thing if you really want to be. If you choose to follow that path or not, that's on you, which I don't see why you wouldn't, but then again, I'm not most people, and most people live their lives with, logic and reasoning. Don't get me wrong. Those have its time and place, but meh. I'd prefer emotion over logic. Because, I don't know. I've had this conversation with numerous people, but I honestly feel that feelings beget thought. Not thought begins feelings. Beget. My bad. But that's just how I view things. And that's only one view. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm certainly not saying I'm right. That's just how I perceive it. And it's up to each and every one of you to decide whether or not I'm right, you're right, or whatever is right. And before anybody asks, yes, I am 100% sober. Okay, I feel like I can divulge this dirty little secret now. Back when I first started doing all of this, I would get inebriated just so I could feel a little at ease with what I was doing. Yeah. Go if you're legitimately curious about that, you can go back and probably would be the best one. Stranger of Sword City. Yeah. That was a fun game, but that was still when I was like in the young phase of what I was doing. Or what I am doing, I should say. Not was. I'm still doing it. But yeah, you can clearly tell I was not in my quote-unquote right mind. I don't know what my right mind is, but it wasn't that. But yeah, fun little tidbit. I don't know, because this channel's been around for a long time, but when I started publishing stuff, that's when I quote-unquote consider the channel being born. I originally planned to do it, I think it was 2 years, no, I think it, one and a half, let's go with 1.5, split the difference. Supposed to do that first, well, I was supposed to get started way before I did, but due to technology and me just being in school, just didn't have the time to do that. So the page and my ambition kind of like wavered throughout the times. And when I finally got the courage to post something, I think it was, I think Gaming Says was the first thing I ever posted. It was not anywhere close to like what I'm quote unquote producing today, but it still was the stepping stone to get me where I am now. Whether or not that's a good thing, up to whoever finds my stuff and sees it. Hooray. Would you please not bitch slap him? Mueller's, I don't know. Do you guys consider Mueller having a hard life, or maybe just an exacerbated one due to our very favorite bastard prince? I'd say, I don't know. The relationship between Mueller and Oliver, or Olivier, I don't know the correct pronunciation of his actual name. I'm just calling him Oliver because, well, I cannot pronounce names of anything without hearing it first accurately. Lord knows I was butchering Arabonia during the second chapter. And it was only like midway through like the first part of Cold Steel 1, where I finally, decided to finally say what it is. It's just one of my many talents, people. Mispronouncing. I both shoot myself in the foot and give example. I cannot pronounce things for the life of me. Like in my head, it's all there, but there's just some sort of delay between my head and my mouth. My mouth runs all the time. It isn't necessarily a bad thing. Because, I don't know, I feel if you let your mind run enough, you'll start thinking and maybe not necessarily doing things differently, but have different thought cycles. Yeah, let's go with that one. Because, I don't know. I think that, like, if you're thinking of something, you want / have the need to say that something before you can, like, move on to something new or something else. And don't get me wrong, it's not like you're overly hung up on it. It's just like your mind has to process that first. It has to get that out of the way first. And if it doesn't, your brain will just kind of like stick on it. That's why not most people that I know, that's why people that I know who talk to themselves do it, because they say it's not the fact that you're talking to yourself, it's the fact that you're talking about your thoughts out loud. Plays when you hear something out loud compared to in your head, it might sound worlds different than what it actually is meant or what you meant. So that way, when you get it out in the open, you're like, oh, that's what it actually sounds like or means. And if you think that sounds crazy, no. Has a lot to do with also like how you may phrase something. Like Archer says, phrasing. But yeah, if you could totally say something and mean it to be one way, like, okay, I love my boss. Well, not my boss, but the woman I consider to be my actual boss instead of my actual boss. But there was just one day we were working together and it was just like a really busy day and she was just having a bad time. And I just, first of all, guys, if you're out there, never, repeat after me, never tell a woman to calm down. The best approach I've found was to just say, I'll just use her name, Jen, just take a deep breath or breathe. Just breathe. Because if you do that, they will take a second to like breathe. But my boss said the words, "Don't worry about me, I'm all right." And that came off as like overly harsh. And she like even said so afterwards. She's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to have it come out like that. I just meant it in like a joking way, but it sounded so mean." And yeah, I knew that, but it was one of those cases where the intended effect kinda wasn't the actual effect. This might sound straight. Well, it makes perfect sense from a guy doing just yelling at video games in his room, but say something out loud before it matters. Does that make sense? I hope so. I'm trying to think of how else I can explain it, but I don't know. I guess hate to go with a almost cliche, but confessions of like feelings is one of those things that should be like the person says to themselves first before they say it to whoever the intended effect is. Like, first of all, people, if you like someone, go after them. Don't don't hold yourself back. Life's short. You don't get that many opportunities. Trust me, I know. But just be careful of how you say something, because it might sound overly creepy one way. But if you think about it and get a chance to like rephrase it before you say it to them, you may A, minimize the damage that you could have done, and B, actually have situations turn out better. Like, trying to think of a case in time where that didn't work for me, but I don't know. I have gotten lucky with things that I've said in my life not coming back to bite me in the ass. Of all the things that I've done that come back and bite me in the ass, surprisingly, the shit that I say does not fall into that category. And now the battle's over, so this chat's over as well. Shield 4. Yay! Another sealing stone. So we have 2 of them now. So I think it's going to be Zane and Shara. I don't know. I have a guide that I do look up for reference, but I don't like using it. I think it should just be, you know, taken as it comes. It looks like the end of this trial. Sure came as a surprise to find out that Reese was just a fiend in disguise, though. Yeah. Thought she was being mind-controlled or something. I've known her for a long time, and if I was fooled, it's no surprise that you guys would be. The mirrors with it were really deadly, too. So I think it's safe to say that whole battle was a trap set for us by our enemies. That being the case, I'm concerned for how the other group is faring. Should hurry ahead. Yeah, let's go ourselves to that gate. Yes, let's. And are the groups going to meet up? I certainly hope so. Kevin! Looks like they're okay. And now I can get my full party back. Well, my actual party back. Yep, you're the real deal, all right. Thank Idios. I was worried as hell about you, you know. I say the same to you. So it looks like those really must have been grimoires then. Sure does. Grimoires? Is that the name of those fiends we encountered? You got it. It's type of fiend mentioned in the testaments. Well, maybe fiend isn't the best word. They're said to be the souls eventually turn into what souls turn into after being thrown into Gehenna. People's souls turn into those? That's not a very pleasant thought. As I'm sure you know, the church teaches that the souls of sinners end up in the fiery depths of Gehenna. There they are tormented by the ceaseless flames, slowly losing their own sense of self over time. Till finally, they're said to end up as nothing more than chaotic lump of spirit known as a grimoire. Getting goosebumps just picturing it. That's what those shape-shifting creatures we encountered were? Yes. The mirrors and cannons that appear with them are all cursed items that have the same origin. How they did it, I don't know. But it seems like our enemies have quite literally opened up the gates of Gehenna. It's quite a colorful metaphor. Sounds like. The Phantasm, or is the other dude? Gotta know which voice to do. You again? Oh, look who decided to show their ugly mug. Did that lord of yours send you to come check up on us? That was one of the roles I have been assigned, albeit not the only one. I'm impressed by how quickly you've progressed, even if it was a significant amount of the Hermit's guidance. The Hermit? Who's that? The ghost we keep running into? Can't think of anybody else. She's been helping us in various ways since we arrived here, yet we still have no idea who she is. Indeed, I speak of her. She's a spirit that left behind in Phantasma, as well as the master of the Hollow Garden. Of course, thanks to my lord taking most of her power, she can do little other than struggle as your guide. As usual, your cryptic nonsense just goes right over my head. But hey, she's your enemy, she's our ally, right? I'll leave that for you to find out. Her position is hardly a concern at this time. I have a message for you from my lord. Your next destination is the Path of Beast. Devour the new offering presented to you and display your seal once more. And the flames ahead will burn fiercer and my kingdom draw closer to its true completion. What? What is that supposed to mean? My lord says that you may choose to interpret that message however you see fit. My task was simply to relay that to you. Kevin? Sorry, I couldn't help but laugh. Tell me, what sad classes did you and that joke of a boss you got take to get your certifications in how to be a big bad? I saw trying to confuse us by spewing that cryptic bullshit too. Bet you thought we'd keep ourselves all night trying to figure that gem out. I mean, the overblown theatrics did make it a bit too obvious that it's fake. Don't you think? Well, are you about done with us? If you are, how about you get lost? We've got better things to do with our time than to listen to nonsensical riddles from a guy who can't even bother to show his face. So you're quite fond of the gift granted you by my lord. Does it bring back memories? Gift? Kevin? Think you can get away? Fear not. We'll encounter once again before long. I am, after all, Phantasma's foremost guardian. And with that, I bid you farewell. So I don't know if that was just Joshua's canned response or if he actually recognized that thing. So that's the Schwartz Ritter you mentioned. He's a picture of the Lord, right down to taunting us as he leaves. Too bad for him that doesn't take a genius to work out that they're both bluffing. Reese knows that Kevin's full of bullshit. Your next destination is the Path of Beasts. Devour the new offering presented to you and display your seal once more. Then the flames Gehenna burn ever fiercer and my kingdom draw closer to true completion. His words sound as they have some significant meaning to me, but they could be taken a number of ways at face value. We could try to unravel said meaning, but that may hinder our progress and more help in the long run. My thoughts exactly. Anyway, definitely not going to hinder us from going back to the base and seeing who's in the 2 sealing stones we picked up. If we activate that monument over there, we'll be able to go right back to continue exploring later too. Thank goodness it's right here, huh? I wonder who's going to be inside these. I bet the 2 bracers. All right. And that does it. So, I have rambled for a good 38 minutes. So I think that's enough for me. So, thank you guys for watching and listening. If I've made any sense to you at all, bravo. I can only hope. Anyhow, guys, if everything you want to say, make some noise down in the comments below. And thank you for being weird and watching somebody like me.